Hey everybody out there, my name is Sean Joy, aka Dragnix, and welcome back to The Hunt. If you don't know what The Hunt is, basically it's the games that I played during the week that have significance, whether it be they were first released this week, whether they were on sale this week, or have some kind of newsworthiness to it. Short segments, get right to the point, and let's go and hunt. Runestone Keeper. The game that I played the most this week. A very addicting game that has you saying, okay, just one more level, and then turning around and finding out it's 2 a.m. It's a simple roguelike in which you click on tiles to reveal what's behind them, whether it be enemies, traps, or the door to the next level of the dungeon. You have several options in dealing with your enemies, with melee and ranged attacks, spells you can cast such as turning an enemy into a sheep, or using items with the soul you collect from exploring the dungeon. It's a game that keeps the variety up, with the different items and options that are available, such as being able to worship a god for a bonus, or the random events that you run across. It's more of a tactical, think before you act RPG, as each enemy has their own unique traits that can be exploited if you really think about the skills and items that you can use against them. There is a frustration, however, as the game will hold it over you, as some of the RNG elements really can screw you over at times, and it would have been nice to have a better way of searching through tiles for traps, as they may not be the most deadly of anything, but they are pretty deadly when it comes to your overall health. Enemies attack you only if you engage, which does add a level of strategy as you can keep on running through the dungeon. You may have problems later on because you won't be leveled enough. If you're looking for a game to get invested in, or even just to play in very short bursts, Runestone Keeper is probably right up your alley. Dyscourse. Stranded on a desert island due to a plane crash, Dyscourse examines 6 survivors' attempt to survive and get off the island through a choose-your-own-adventure story experience. The game's greatest strength is its branching paths, as there are a lot of them, and your cast of characters will feel the choices that you make. On the flip side, however, the amount of choices lead to several moments of inconsistent storytelling due to the tone of characters not matching the scene they are in due to the choices that you've made. The unique Paper Mario aesthetic comes through, as characters change with attacks from crabs at the ankles or burns from jumping off and exploding remains of an airplane. Let me put it this way, if you liked reading those choose-your-own-adventure books when you were a kid and reading through every single ending, Dyscourse will be the game for you, as each story does have several interesting elements to it, enough to keep you reversing the days and trying the new paths. Glorkian Warrior: The Trials of Glork. A mobile port to the PC that does at least take advantage of its new screen space and some controller support, although it's missing some basic sound options. It's a basic shoot-'em-up that really relies on its unique visuals that are done by an award-winning cartoonist, and it shows. The game is very vibrant and very alive. The game really only wants you to focus on dodging, as it automatically fires for you. Unfortunately, that does take some of the fun out of it. There's a variety of enemies and a variety of pickups as you play through the game, with more and more being unlocked as you earn more experience. The problem for me, though, is the simplicity, as the game, while it's entertaining, starts to lose its appeal after several playthroughs. It's more so of a mismatch between me and the game. With shoot-'em-ups, I really want a little bit more strategy and different options for my shoot-'em-ups, and a little bit of variety. And while Glorkian is solid and does have several interesting elements to it, like exploding basketballs, it just doesn't keep my attention for that long. If you're desperate for a shoot-'em-up on the PC, then this may be up your alley, but otherwise, I'd hold off on it. Bloodborne. I haven't played it as much as I wanted to. Heck, I do a lot of videos a week. And I haven't played through the Dark Souls games, or really at all. But I see where the appeal of Bloodborne lies, and that's why I picked it up. The difficulty, of course, is there and is the biggest appeal, but on the other hand, it feels fair. Rules are always consistent, and it's really your fault if you choose to engage on the wrong terms or not pay attention to the environment around you. Now, I admit, I suck at the game, and this game isn't going to be for everyone. The visuals aren't the greatest in my mind, but fit the world that they are going for. You shouldn't need me to tell you that the game is worth your time if you like technical combat and a challenge, but I put it here for one specific reason, that Bloodborne still appeals to me and got my attention despite not playing the Dark Souls series. The reliance on dodging and the different attack styles makes every confrontation an actual challenge at times and still engaging. You don't have a breather. I like the fact that they moved away from the guarding mechanisms and sort of the wait for your opportunity to strike. This seems more engaging. But yeah, Bloodborne is good. But you really didn't need me to say that, now did you? Snowflake Tattoo. Or actually //Snowflake Tattoo //. Look, I don't get this game. I mean, you can just read the description of the game and wonder what the heck is going on. But beyond that, the game doesn't ever hit the level of, what is the word I'm looking for, interesting, that the description speaks about. Besides, the hard to make out visuals and the ever confusing UI, this basically has you collecting doll steaks. Yeah, doll steaks. then trying to find the exit while trying not to die to military vehicles or whatever the rest of the enemies are. Then there's a flying section in which you apparently try to somehow collect these dial states. Honestly, just take a look at the game. It's a game I gave a chance. I love giving games chances, but in the end, it's a game that doesn't appeal to me on any level, and I can't recommend it whatsoever. It hurts my head looking at the visuals, and while the music is alright, it's a game that for me is just plain boring. And as I said over on my channel, I picture this is what hardcore drugs is like for several people, and I don't mean that in a good way. Ironcast. In what may seem like on the surface to be a mismatch, a match 3 set in a steampunk world, well, it has a lot of depth to it surprisingly, as it incorporates roguelike elements and an RPG element into the mix. I've been looking for a game that would give me at least a similar experience to Puzzle Quest, and while it never hit that level entirely, it most certainly gave me a great experience. The idea is that there are 4 major elements on the field: ammo to use to fire at your enemies, energy to start your mech moving and to power its shields, coolant which is used in almost every action and protects you from overheating and taking damage, and repair nodes to repair the different systems that you have. You can go after enemy parts to take out their mobility, and link and overcharge nodes to go for massive damage and combos. But you need to keep in mind your mech's capabilities, as you need to conserve your tiles at times or to go with your enhancements that you've gotten, because the ever-looming RNG nodes that drop will leave you defenseless or ammo-less for a period of time, which can bring a run to an abrupt end. That's the only real complaint I have about the game, as sometimes you're screaming at the screen for something that you need to drop it all, and a bad board stays a bad board for a bit. But it's a minor flaw in what is a reasonable game that has been entertaining, if not a little bit frustrating. Take a look at this one. And that's it for this week. I know, not as many games this week, sadly. I blame the addictive nature of Ironcast and Runestone Keeper for that. I admit it, one of my favorite genres is the roguelike and roguelite genre, so these 2 games definitely did the job for quenching that thirst this week, but everything else suffered because of it. And I'll probably be playing a bit of Bloodborne over the next several weeks as well. I've really got a lot of games that I need to actually, finish, rather than, start a whole bunch of new ones. At least when I find the time to. Again, I like doing first impressions and showing people games that they may have missed or were curious about, and I haven't been doing a lot of Let's Plays on the channel as late, so Bloodborne, you're probably not going to see anything on my channel. Anyway, on to the upcoming games of next week. It's actually a bit of slim pickings in terms of big releases this week. It's more of the indies' time to shine. But the biggest release has to do with a PC port of Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. Do I really need to say anything about the Dead or Alive series at this point? There's 32 characters, same old Dead or Alive combat with minor upgrades, the visuals, we'll say the visuals. Honestly, the real question is if the PC port will be up to snuff, as some similar fighters are having major problems with the PC. The Spatials is a weird mix of a game like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Star Trek. You take control of a space station and try to make its visitors happy by building things they enjoy, such as diners they can eat at or equipment that they can get. You get the resources by going to planets and completing missions. It's definitely got my interest, and it is something that I will be focusing on this week as an old Star Trek The Next Generation fan. And it's also got that goofy nature, the epidemic of paper cuts. Ooh. It comes out on March 30th. Speaking of paper cuts, Paperbound releases to the PC and PS4 on March 31st. Described as a smash 'em up brawler, it's a twist on a game like Towerfall Ascension, as players combat with scissors and ink bombs in the pages of old books to try to take on their opponent in local co-op. One interesting twist is that once somebody gets enough kills, they must escape through a page tear that opens up, and other players can stop you from going through it, killing you, and you'll have to get another kill. There's also gravity effects. Out There Omega Edition will be the first impressions that I will do on the Thursday, April 2nd video this week on TechRaptor. Space exploration mixed, of course, with my favorite genre, roguelike, along with resource management and interactive fiction. We'll see if it stands out against games like FTL. And of course, here are some upcoming games as well that are spread throughout the week. Anyway, if you like the segment, share with others so I can help grow this channel by more people watching. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to this channel. And then, if you have a chance, check out my channel as well. Shameless self-promotion. It always helps to get more eyes on something to not only make this a successful product to deliver to you, the consumers, but to keep on improving it over time. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Hey everybody, my name is Sean Joy, aka Dragnix, and I thank you for watching. If you do like this video, hit that like button, and if you do want more content like this from TechRaptor, hit that subscribe button. I will be doing content for TechRaptor on Mondays and Thursdays video-wise, and then doing the rest of the week on the video on my own channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, play more games. Needs more games.